I feel like pretty much everyone knows how good MacBooks from like the M1 to M4 generations are, and I'm grateful to say that I have been able to experience that firsthand, and it's been amazing. But nowadays, I feel like maybe not everyone is aware of some of the older MacBook greats of all time, like the 2012 MacBook Pro, which I was also able to experience with this firsthand. But now there is a problem. Hopefully through today, I'll get it back up and running and just showing what it's like to use a 14-year-old MacBook in 2026. Personally, I got this laptop in like early 2020 when it was about 8 years old. Why? Because that was all I could afford. That's when I was like first really getting into video editing, and someone was gonna buy Final Cut Pro for me, which is Apple's software that only works on Apple laptops. So I got it for the refurbished price of $550. And today these things go for around $150 to $200. And if I go to turn this on here, it doesn't. I thought it did. Okay, hold on. Just to start, the specs in this is an i5, 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, a terabyte of hard drive space, and a 13-inch screen. Two of those specs I just listed can be swapped out. You can replace the RAM and you can replace the hard drive, even with like an SSD, which that would make it a whole lot faster. And like every other Apple device I've ever used, this one is no exception. It has great build quality, and I mean, even the design still holds up well. But another reason why people loved it are the ports. Now, if you don't know, from like 2016 to, well, right before the whole M1 MacBook Pro lineup, Apple robbed you from every single port except a couple USB-C and an audio jack. They load you up on the old MacBook. You're still working with some same things like MagSafe charging, an SD card slot, but also two USB-A ports, which there are still a lot of peripherals that use USB-A. There's Thunderbolt instead of HDMI. There's an Ethernet port and a FireWire port. I don't really even know what that is. And if you can believe it, there's an optical CD drive in it. The screen itself is probably where it shows its age the most, with the extremely large bezels. This is a 13-inch laptop, and when I compare it to like my brother's M2 13-inch MacBook Air, you can see they did a good job of getting the size down over the years. And then there's the keyboard and trackpad. Now, I've always loved MacBook trackpads. Keyboard-wise, I might actually prefer the older one a little bit. It just feels like it has like a little more travel distance. It's a little more like keyboardy. That was not helpful, was it? And debatably, one of the coolest things is that the Apple logo glows. Now, does that make a difference on anything? Absolutely not, but that's pretty awesome. Now, once this thing is back up and running, I'll be putting some of these things actually in action, but to be fair, I actually do have to fix it. Now, I am not the greatest technician that's ever lived. I am a video editor first. Fixing this is gonna get interesting. I always know that before I became a video editor, all I knew is that I wanted to work on something creative, but there were just so many different ways of getting started. It was pretty overwhelming. But I did take a video production class in high school, which that was kind of the guide I needed to get started. And that guide for you might be the sponsor of today's video, which is Southern New Hampshire University. SNHU is actually one of the largest accredited universities in the United States, and also has some of the most affordable online tuition rates in the entire nation. And it can help you further your education and just help you get started on your path. Like, the average American works 40 years of your life. So I think it's pretty important to make sure you're doing something you love. From social media marketing to something like cybersecurity, there are over 200 degree programs that you can pick from. And when I think degrees, I think time-consuming and expensive, but SNHU's programs are extremely flexible and online without any set schedule, so you can pretty much get it done wherever you want and whenever you want. You can transfer up to 90 credits towards a bachelor's degree, but that's not just for prior college. You can get credit for military or other work or life experience too, which will just help you finish your degree faster and for less money. So if you've been thinking about exploring a new chapter, it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and SNHU is there to guide you step by step. So if you've been looking to invest in yourself, be sure to check out the link in the description to learn more and see if this is the right path for you. And thank you, SNHU, for sponsoring this video. But I need to get this bad boy up and running. The whole issue here is it loads up looking like this. Now, that is not how a MacBook is supposed to boot. Whenever I turn it on, it has this flashing folder with a question mark or sometimes like a little circle with a line through it. According to my research, this means that it can't find a hard drive, or more specifically, it can't find a hard drive with macOS on it. So this could just be as easy as a reinstall of macOS, or it's a bummy hard drive or hard drive cable, so I'd have to replace both. That would be a lot harder now, wouldn't it? Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is turn it off, and then when I boot it back up, I'm gonna hold Command and R, which enters recovery mode. And here we go, starting internet recovery. Oh, why is this trackpad so stiff? Oh my God, it was not always like that. Oh, that keyboard, that's great. That's some great stuff. And there is a very long loading bar. Oh, actually, it just popped up with a timer, 5 minutes. Thanks, Apple. That's actually considerate. I will get an apple to eat. You know, there's a lot of types of apples to love in the world. Let's make sure this can recognize that there's a hard drive even in here. 1 terabyte internal. Perfect. We don't have to replace it. That makes me happy. If we go to reinstall OS X. All right, looks like it'll take about 35 minutes. Hey, Carter here. Let's head on battery life here. It's non-existent. And I mean that because I bumped the charger cable out, and now I am redoing the entire process. It was almost done. I'll put a visual example up on screen of what happens when you just happen to bump the MagSafe charger a little bit. Isn't that just the best? Help me. And just like that, we are setting up the 2012 MacBook. Good job, Carter. Wow, that is outdated looking. You can do very basic things like type notes, set reminders, change your wallpaper, take some beautiful pictures in photo booth. But with the OS being so outdated, it has Wi-Fi, but doesn't support internet connection on Safari. But I don't think that does it justice for what it's like to use this laptop in 2026. So on my new MacBook, on a thumb drive, I downloaded macOS Sierra to get internet supported OS. And then I updated it to Catalina, which is what I used to use on it. This should open up a whole lot more function, especially something a little complex called connecting to the internet. Yeah, so that's nice. If you are getting this, you are probably using it for regular person type of tasks like watching YouTube. Now, like overall opening, closing Safari tabs, adding new ones, deleting them, a little slower than something like my M4 Max. Of course it's gonna be slower. Like again, for like an average person, it's perfectly fine. There we go. Got a YouTube video going, get it in full screen. Let's test the speaker quality. Like, man, I'm just saying, like, for most people, speakers just get audio in your ear, and that does this perfectly fine. Now, putting it next to my MacBook now, which, to be fair, it is 16 inches, so it's gonna have better speakers, but this is still the sound quality differences. And I tested that on not Spotify because you can't download the app for Spotify, it's incompatible. You can't even use Spotify on the web browser because it's incompatible. And that is by far the biggest issue. But in terms of like opening up different tabs, go to YouTube there, we'll go to apple.com there. Oh, that one happens to load fast. I'm on to you, Tim Cook. But as far as the boot times, here's the 2012 MacBook with a good old spinning hard drive versus the speed of the M4 lineup. Definitely a noticeable difference. Like maybe I just have like low standards, but for web browsing type of activities, it's very usable for me. It's also very nostalgic for me, just generally. Like that boot up sound, even that weird little pluck that I hear every 5 minutes. I don't know if it's a hard drive or something. Like I remember all of that like it was yesterday though. Like those were the days. Loud fan noise, lagging video editing, slow hard drive speeds. Maybe I don't miss it. Anyways, like I've said, even if that is the extent of your work, just basic web browsing document type of work, I still don't recommend it. I will hit more on that in a second, but first I wanted to talk about all of these apps are first party. Like Safari is gonna work way better than something like Chrome because it's just so optimized by Apple. And when I used to use this for video editing, the same thing was true. That's why I used Final Cut Pro, Apple's video editing software. So that's why I was gonna test video editing on this, but Final Cut is no longer available or compatible. But still, for old time's sake and curiosity's sake, I'm just gonna have to use iMovie. Let's also transfer some of this footage with this USB-A port. Let's see how speedy this is. Got a few different types of clips here, a music track, and also a LUT. I don't even know if that's possible in iMovie. And I mean, hey, that was fast enough to not be annoyed by it. What's new in iMovie? Optimized for Apple Silicon. Oh, good thing we can not take advantage of that. I've actually never used iMovie, but it's like the same layout as Final Cut. Let's bring in some of these clips. No importable files. Great start. I can't even edit the clips. Can I at least bring in the song? Okay, I can bring in the song. I have some iPhone 17 test footage. I wonder if I can airdrop that. Oh wait, actually I think I can. Oh, sick. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. That's actually some of the best iPhone footage that I've probably recorded right there. Skimming is a little rough, but actual playback is smooth. It actually is 4K footage, so hey, that's holding up just fine. Even on like 2, maybe 3, okay, 3 times speed. No, 3 times speed, that's working too. Just cut through all of that. If you want to cut up some Instagram reels on a 14-year-old MacBook, I guess you can. To be fair, I used to edit some big videos on this. I don't know how I did that. Actually, I remember it now. It was laggy. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Like, that's honestly kind of, I guess, humbling. It makes me grateful that I have a very overkill laptop now. I don't even have to imagine what it would be like to lag editing videos. It's hard to complain about editing performance on a laptop like this, where the extent of video editing that most people are doing is this. But exporting the 45 seconds of footage in 4K took about 4 minutes. So could I use this for most of my basic work? Technically, yeah, but I'd have to jump through a lot of hoops for all the compatibility issues. Like, this laptop feels old. It just doesn't feel 14 years old. But theoretically, if this was all set up and updated and battery replaced and we just deleted all the compatibility issues, I would still not recommend this. Like, any M series laptop, even like the M1 Air, is gonna be very close in price, but far, far more powerful and have a far, far longer lifespan. Biggest downgrade would actually be the ports. The M1 Air only has a couple USB-C and a headphone. The 2012 MacBook Pro is absolutely loaded up. But personally, I would rather pay a little bit more for a whole lot better and also not have to worry about any of these issues. If you're looking to get an older one, I would say start by looking at the 2015s. A lot of similarities, but a couple years newer. But I've been on a craze of revisiting the old tech that I specifically used to use like every single day. These MacBooks were glorious and they had a very good run, but thank you for watching and feel free to subscribe for more.